Hello everyone, this is my Phalaenopsis Care video, which comprises of basic no ID, mini or complex hybrids of Phalaenopsis. These were brought directly from the main importer to Sri Lanka. He's a wonderful person. I have low battery, so I don't know how far I can go with this video. I'll try to make it short, but since all of my videos are very short, I was thinking about talking about this genus a bit lengthily in my climate. So Phalaenopsis and their hybrids, they grow well in my climate, Sri Lanka being a tropical country. Oh, and welcome to my channel. I'm sorry. I forget the basic stuff I have to do when starting a video. Okay, getting back to the topic at hand again. I wish to tell you that I repot these Phalaenopsis as soon as I get them. Why I do that is because I have mega thrive, and I have found it very easy to be reducing transplant shock if I dump them in mega thrive. What I do is I take off all the old moss, every residue of moss, I wash them, and then I immediately dump them, because when I bring them very carefully, because I select my own plants. I select plants that has no damage at all, but anyway there are no damages when you bring them to Sri Lanka. They send us plants in great quality. I want to keep it as it is, so I bring them home very carefully, then I remove the moss and I dump it in a bucket of mega thrive. Not a heavy dosage of mega thrive will be added, only a teaspoon to a 5-gallon bucket, because a lot of that fertilizer would distort the new growth also, because it is high with boron, which in return reduces all the transplant shock. This you can see is damages made by me by moving these a lot, because in heavy rain, no matter how wicking my media is, I do not keep them out. Heavy rain, 1 day or 2 day fine, but more than that I take them inside. You can see that this media of mine also has some brown furry stuff on it. Those are the bird's nest root pieces. This is actually a cleaned up, washed up root piece of the bird's nest fern, which I will insert a picture here. And these, as well as the charcoal pieces, are washed thoroughly a few times to get rid of all the excess dirt or carbon or whatever that will be very helping for my Phalaenopsis to grow. So most of these lowest leaves I have not taken off, because this plant actually looks nice because of all the leaves stacking up on top of each other nicely. And if I show you how the roots have fared, they have fared very well and they have rooted new. This side would be much more clearer. So these were brought, three Sogoeuchidians were brought in March, early March, which has already acclimated nicely to my conditions with very less fertilizer. The only thing that I did when I got these was to dump them in Mega Thrive, then repot them. I'll get to how I repot them. And I sprayed Epsom salt a few times thereafter, because the plants brought from Thailand, according to Dr. Moats, should be sprayed with magnesium a few times. This is based on, this information I tell you is actually based on a very old video that was on their channel. So I do think Thailand has corrected their brewing after then, but to be on the safe side, I spray this Epsom salt. And to talk about how I pot these Phalaenopsis, you can see that these pots are not necessarily matching the plant size, right? And through this video, they even look huge than it normally is. I do not have to worry about root rot by the way I have planted these, because as I've told you, when I make charcoal chunks, I try to get them longer so I can suspend my plant in this pot just by one long piece of charcoal, which I have successfully done by stacking the medium-sized charcoal and lava rock simultaneously around it. So I just leave these pieces of fern root on top of these plants just for some added humidity during hotter days. Now to talk about our weather here, last 2-3 days it was raining heavily, and again for two days I think it was very hot. So that's how the climate would be, and I want my plants to fare in both these changes without having any abnormalities in their newest growths, which this does not have, or get late in spiking. So my goal and my hard rule for growing Phalaenopsis is that you have to give a lot of nutrition during their active growth period and continue to do so until you see a spike. Then you can up the potassium dosage to encourage the spike to be a full spike. So that had clearly worked. Even though this is the maiden spike, this would be called a stress spike also, which I'm not very sure, but the plant did not go under any stress, as you can see. So I do not think this is, it actually extended. So okay, I'll talk to you about how I fertilize this. Currently except for Mega Thrive and Epsom salt. I have made myself an organic fertilizer, which has been really beneficial to me. For a person who has been using Gromo fertilizer 10-52-10 and 30-10-10 or 10-10 40 or 30 with the micronutrients, I have not seen this much of growth from artificial fertilizers, but the organic fertilizer. It is horrible and smelling, but I will show you one day. Actually, I do not have to show you the fertilizer recipes because it is of another YouTuber called Lenilda Flores. I think the channel is from Brazil. I want you guys to check because down her videos there is the fertilizer recipe which has English subtitles, so you can easily understand. She actually shown up to date 3 fertilizers, organic fertilizers. So I use 2 of her fertilizer recipes. The third one is a new one which I did not try yet. I do not think the latest one would be horrible smelling as the 2 before, because I have both the recipes. The first one to encourage rooting and the second one to encourage flowering. So I do not use fertilizer a lot. I use it once a week, and I also spray aloe vera juice onto the plant. When it is newly repotted, I do not spray any of that. I just let it acclimate to my surroundings. Then I little by little start fertilizing them. Lastly, I want to show you some plants which went through a root rot, but has recovered so well now because of that organic fertilizer, which I'm really happy that I used, because in her videos then Lenilda shows spraying them onto the roots as well as the leaves without any fear. She has triple jumbo Phalaenopsis, and I love watching those plants. I encourage all of you to watch those channels. Something has fallen on this, which I had to blow it off, I think. Some seed. Okay, I took it off and they're fine. These plants normally hang around the top shelves, hence the sunburn, but it has totally reduced due to the organic fertilizer. So these new leaves have no sunburn. This has, and the new leaf does not, and it's giving me another new leaf. So you can see a drastic change in using organic fertilizer, even though they smell horribly. Because of the horrible smell, I actually spray this very early in the morning as no one has woken up. So since my battery died as suspected, I will end this video with my only jumbo Phal, which is giving me a new leaf and has a lot of hard water stains from the seller's care. This is not totally me. So I cannot seem to get these off. However, it will go off in time. This whole plant was full of hard water stains, which residues remain to this day. I slowly fandangled the rotten stem, which has dried off, and gave it much more air and new medium by turning the plant upside down and running it through water so the old medium would be released from the roots. And that worked, and the plant is breathing better now. Nothing has happened to the roots at the bottom, but by holding the phone in one hand, I cannot lift this pot up because this needs two hands as it's very heavy. So I will not try to do that, but someday, because I am thinking of repotting this, I hate these plastics, I might repot the plant into this ceramic pot itself, and we'll see how that is happening. If I can do a video, I will do. So I will end the video by saying thank you to everyone who's been watching this and bearing with me for so long. I will end the video with my favorite Phalaenopsis. I hope you can see that. Yeah. Thank you to all for watching this video, and I hope you will subscribe to my channel and stay in touch with me. If you have any questions about any of my media or any type of other growing matter, please put a comment, so I will reply you. See you guys. Thank you, and I love you all.